Hello. Last time this plane had a video presence, it was about half a year ago, and at that time it was just this wing, and even then it wasn't quite finished. The wing tip devices was missing, waiting to be glued. They are now here, and so is the rest of the plane. So I have been meaning to document this process a little bit, but I haven't done that because when I'm thinking of the plane, I just end up building it, not videotaping it. I have few photos, but so now I'm filming it because it is nearly finished. Next thing, it's going to get paper skin. So now's good time to show you what it has before it has skin, so we can clearly see inside, see all the little details. Ooh, fancy. Oh, so excuse me be basking in my own greatness, but last time when I was building this wing, I didn't have like any idea what the airplane was going to look like. I was maybe thinking something like simple box beam, no any cockpits or any fancy features, make it as simple as possible. But then I got some feedback. Everyone thought that it was great, and of course I got maybe carried away a little bit. Maybe not, but I ended up making it this like Cessna looking thing. Well, I'm not sure if it's Cessna. It's not anything, but it's airplane looking, and it ended up being much more detailed than I originally thought. So there's few things I like, few things I don't like as much, but I'm kinda anxious now to get it finished and crash it before it takes too long, so I'm kinda aware that I might break this, and it might be really sad because it's so nice looking, but hey, it was built to fly, so if it crashes, that's its destiny. But yeah, I have been practicing a little bit on simulator. No idea if that's any help, but at least I'm confident that I'm not going to lose orientation right away, but who knows. But that's the topic for another video. This is about this plane itself. So well, let's start with the one negative. I can right off the bat this tail end ended up being much more heavier than I anticipated, and I don't mean in sense that it's too heavy, more in sense that it ended up being tail heavy. So I had to put some counterweights in very nose of there's a steel lug here, here hot glued, and also this like fishing weight I found in store. I was thinking that maybe I had to move this motor a little bit closer to nose, but it didn't end up making any difference, so it's where it's supposed to be. And the battery, this is the battery tray here, so the battery has to be as close the nose as possible, so it's going to be fun trying to scoot the battery through the hatch here and not seeing inside, trying to like some strange sock puppet trying to put the battery in and secure it. So so that's a little bit disappointing, but only disappointing. It didn't end up, even though it had the counterweights. I don't think it's going to be too heavy. I'm sure this flies just fine, because this isn't a sports plane. It's like a park flyer, so no any high performance expected here. Let's see, so some other details, and of course the plane itself is a great detail in itself. I'm really happy how this like cockpit section came out. I hope the paper wraps neatly around it. I'm not sure but what's going to happen, but at this point it looks pretty neat. And I even got this little Naga duct here made. Sweet. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like cocky, but I'm pretty pleased with this. Other detail, here's the servos for the tail surfaces. These are these elevators? Maybe? No. Anyway, these aren't on now because I already started to disassemble this for the paper. So, but the servos are here at the front of the plane, and here comes push rods, 2 of them for the both sides, and there's going to be like a horns here attached to the right surfaces. And here's the rudder. I have to shorten these push rods a little bit because they obstruct at the surfaces, so it has to fit, but I'm going to leave that very last. One other detail, I decided to make the, poke your eye out. These tail surfaces, it's like anhedral, because no other reason that it looks neat, I don't know, but it made the building process a little bit complicated, because this obviously cannot be the same surface, because I was thinking that it would be like one surface and one surface, but this has to be 2 surfaces, and all the time I had like great anxiety to decide how I'm going to do the simplest thing, and because now this has to be 2 separate surfaces. There has to be some way to actuate both of them, and I ended up making 2 push rods, which is really simple, and there's no like really drawbacks, but for some reason I had like idea that it has to be 1 push rods, and here is some kind of box that separates the 1 push rods to 2 push rods, and it was going to be needlessly complicated, so thankfully I ended up doing this instead. There's going to be, excuse me,